Hello guys. Hope you're having a great day. We've had a rainy Sunday. Of course, you know, what else is new in Oklahoma, right? Okay, so I'm going to take a break for a minute from our tags and our altered book. And I'll have to do that every now and then when I want to show you something that is going along with my book I'm going to make. It's my design team project for Tracie Fox Love Junk Journals on Etsy. And so if you want to find her stuff, just go check out Love Junk Journals, Tracie Fox. Okay, so I believe it was Gail she got a gift from a Happy Mail. She got a gift where someone had made her, and the girl's name was Emily. I do remember that. Someone had made her a book, it's different. I'm going to show you. You start on you get your scoreboard out. And you're going to need one of the bigger ones, or you're going to have to measure off your trimmer or something. But you're going to score at 9 points. This is a 12 by 12 paper. You're going to need two 12 by 12 papers. And I really am trying to figure out what is the front and what is the back. I think that's this is the back. So let's do it this way. Okay, so we're going to score at 9 on the scoreboard. This is a Martha Stewart scoreboard, but they have all kinds out there. Whoops, and I don't always do a perfect job. Let me fix that a little bit. And then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to score it at 6 right down the center. Okay. And I'll just tell you right now, I did not make one of these ahead of time, so I'm just, what's the old saying, flying by the seat of my pants? That's what I'm doing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to leave this center score line straight up and down, and then we're going to fold this portion right here up. Okay, get your scoring tool to really flatten that out. So far we're doing okay so far. The trick comes when you put a binding on it. Which I don't know if we'll do that in the video, but we will eventually do one. Okay. We may have to make a couple of these. We'll just see. I am using one of her digital kits. I don't have the name of it in front of me, so I'll have to tell you that at some other point. Okay, so now we're going to fold this over. Make sure everything lines up. We're folding it in just like it's a book. Okay, you want to make sure all your score lines come together correctly. And then you definitely need to use your tool on your paper. Now I am using a solid piece of cardstock because I want it to have some strength. I was going to use khaki, but I didn't have any 12 by 12. I don't know if I've even seen them selling them. Maybe individually. They may sell them individually in stores, but I usually buy by the package. I buy it by bulk because I use so much. Okay, so this right here is, I'm trying to get it to lay flat. You know, when you fold paper over like this and then you fold one up in it, it is, you know, it's got a little bit of bulk going on here. So I'm just going to keep scoring it till I get it just right. And I may flip it over this way. See, it wants to, I may have it just slightly. We'll see how it does. Okay, so then there's the first one. We got to have 2 of these. So let me get my other piece of paper. And now once again, I'm going to try to figure out what's the inside and what's the outside. This is the outside. It's a little bit darker. So we're going to put it in like this. And we're going to go ahead and score at 9. Right here, make sure your paper's shoved up in the corner of the scoreboard. I'm doing it 2 or 3 times so I can get a good crease this time. Let me find what I'm doing here. Oh, I just did something wrong. I scored at 9.5. Don't ask me why. So I'm going to come back through here and score at 9. So obviously this is going to be our practice one because I only have 2 sheets of this paper. Oh, way to go, Paula. Anyway, it's okay. It's not that big a deal. And now I'm going to score at 6. I just need to make sure that when I fold it up right here, that I skip past that one little fold right here. I mean, I could still use this because I know that I'm going to cover this section, and I may just do that. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. So you first want to get this portion really as flat as you can. Whoops. Okay. And then you want to pull it over like a book and make sure your corners match. Okay. I have a lot of brown. I've got a lot of dark brown cardstock, but for some reason there was only 2 of this particular one, and I liked it better than the others, so that's kind of why I wanted to use it. Okay, now I'm going to come down on this section that's much thicker and get it as flat as I can. That's what happens when you start working with a lot of bulk in your pages, especially when you're scoring, because it's you know, doesn't like to lie down as easy. Okay, now let's see what we got going. Let's see. Okay, so they're all even. Let me move my scoreboard somewhere. Listen, and I mean that when I say somewhere. I don't have much room going on here. When you're working on an altered book where it takes paper after paper and you've got paper everywhere, and you're working on tags that take a lot of different elements, and then you're working on books in between or other things in between that you need, yeah, it can be a little crazy. So I just want to make sure everything's matching up nicely. For some reason that, oh, it's okay. I just had it up there wrong. Okay, if I can get it straight. I'm going to see which side I like where it meets the best. This side. Okay, now I know at some point we're going to have to trim this a little bit on each side, but I think we'll wait until we get our spine on here. Now, this little spine, we're going to do the inside first. I did 3/4 of an inch because I don't want it super thick. I think it was Gail I saw this video on, and I think she did an inch, but I want it smaller. I don't want it as thick as that. And you just lay this right here like you do. I think I'm going to put my little Ranger pad down because I don't want all this all over my table, which I really shouldn't be working on. It's going to be the pits if I don't stop. I kind of look at it like when I'm doing all this different stuff, it just gets super crowded with the mat. So I just kind of decided I didn't need it for a while. Okay, and now I've kind of become, it's kind of become a habit. Okay, so I'm just going to put a very small line there. So I cut my fabric at 9 inches. I didn't allow any extra because this comes out to 9 inches. I cut it at 9 inches, and I'm going to do the inside fabric first. This is Tim Holtz fabric. I don't know which one it is. I can't remember. Has bugs on it, but it has other things too. Okay, so, and for some reason, this one part didn't like tearing, and I wanted it to look shaggy, so what can I say? I just have to keep pressing it with my finger, but I will glue it down and it won't make a difference. So I'm going to glue these down. I can't remember if Gail did or not, but I'm going to put a little bit of glue behind them and these two flaps, and okay, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on each side and right down the middle, or maybe just on the outside portions, because I want it to not, this is definitely trial and error. Let me put some glue right here and glue the flaps down. Okay. I'm not worrying about the other flap right now, but I got this one down. I'm going to do that on both sides. I don't remember how she did this. I'm going by memory. I could have watched the video, I guess. And if we can't get it right with this video, I'll watch, with my video, if we can't get it right in this video, I will go back and watch Gail's. Because I know she remade it. I do remember that. She remade the little folder and tried to do her version of it. So she even made the embellishments that were, it's all coming back to me now. She even made the embellishments that the girl had made. She mimicked them and came up with her version. Okay, now, let me get, oh my word, everything. You pull one thing out of a pocket and everything comes out. Yeah, can you hear all that? That's a mess. Got glue right here, and I don't want to have a big old blob of glue right in the middle of our page. Okay. All right, so now we've got these two little pockets glued down. So now, once again, we're going to try this again, and we'll put the binding on the back too, but we got to get it right on the center first. Okay. I'm going to worry about one side at a time, I think. Let's get this side done first, and then we can think about the next side. Now, this is not going to be like a super fancy binded book, okay? I'm going to put a little bit of glue, come on out of there, on this side. Not a lot, because, you know, Fabri-Tac will come through. So if we have Fabri-Tac shining through, that's just how it's going to be, because Whoops. I'm trying not to put very much, and then I'm kind of driving like a drunk person here with my glue. Okay, let me wipe this up, because otherwise it's going to get on everything else, right? Of course, I'm down to my very last wipey in that bag, and it wants to make all kinds of noise. Okay, now I got to get a Kleenex to kind of dry that so we don't stick to the outside. Okay, so you want the glue on both sides. You want to just give it a little space like you would if you were binding a book so that it can bend freely. And now we have to hope that our fabric will cooperate. Now, I'm just barely going to hook my fabric on here. You want to make sure it's, you know, as straight as you can get it. Okay. This fabric did not act like it wanted to cooperate, but it was the right size and everything when I was done. Now I'm going to flip it over so we can make sure this is going on straight. See, it's already a little crooked. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick it on here. Now, if we have seepage, it's no big deal. I'm just saying, it doesn't bother me. It would look better if you didn't have seepage, but okay, so this is this side of it, and I'm just going to leave a little space right there like we talked about. Let's see if we can get this to work. There's the first time for everything, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to pick it up because it's sticking to the table. Because, of course, it is coming through the fabric. And I'm going to dry that. Try not to get my book wet. Whoops. This thing doesn't, one of the reasons I don't like to use this particular one especially, and it's in better condition than most of them, is because it, see, this fabric has not had enough time to glue down. So I'm going to give it a second. Now, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to put some glue on there and move in as close as we can. So I think what we'll do is, I'm sorry guys, I have so much on my desk, is go in here and just add some glue to the edge of this fabric. I think it'd be better than trying to add it to the cardboard or the cardstock, because it will not cooperate. And it wants to go everywhere. And this is the side of the fabric that wants to turn up instead of turn down. So let's see what we end up with here. This may determine whether this is a live video or not, if it doesn't turn out. Okay. Try to get a little bit closer. Now this will be covered up with fabric also, so this side of the book. So it should be just fine. Now, let's flip it over. But first we have to wipe off the table. Sorry, but it really, Fabri-Tac will attack this table every time. And then your book will be ruined. This is kind of like, it's not a trifold. It's, you know, obviously got 4 pockets. But I don't even remember what Gail called it. Or the little girl. I don't know what she called it. I'll have to go back and watch it and see, I guess. I may have not even did this correctly. But this is kind of how I remember it. Now look, that's not looking bad, huh? Got our bugs on there. Now I'm going to turn it upright on this side. Now, yes, it's going to be sticking down again, but that's the best way to do it. Okay, now we are going to put the glue right here on this edge. Okay. You want to stay along the very edge, because remember, and then on the edge of that, we don't have that much fabric, and then we're going to go across right there. And I think we will put a little bit on here. Not a lot. We don't have to go crazy, just enough to hold it down. Okay. All right. You want your bugs in the upright position. Okay. You want to make sure you have your book in the upright position too. Okay, now I wanted these bugs to be on the outside spine because I did line it up the best I could. Now, mind you, we will have binding thread on the book, but it's going to be the same color, so it shouldn't. Looky, looky, looky. Now, you can stitch around this spine if you want, but it's not necessary, and I wouldn't use Fabri-Tac if I did on my machine. Ta-da! That is a miracle. I got it the first time, I think. So see, if you fold this in, and you fold this in, and you fold it like this, you have a little spine. Clever, right? Thank you, Miss Emily, whoever you are, for the inspiration, and Gail, because that's where I actually saw it, I think. Okay. I wanted to do something different for my design team, and I was sitting here yesterday thinking, what could I do different? Now I'm kind of putting my finger down that little section that has, you know, the opening here, just like you would on a book. That way it holds down pretty good. Making sure we don't have anything too sticky. Now, I did pay attention to making sure my fabric, if you want to use a fabric you don't have to worry about, just don't do one that needs an upright. Okay, now I didn't go, obviously, all the way out. Oh, this one, the glue dried on. Well, no wonder we need to add glue back there. I kind of remember now when I did this side that side wasn't wanting to stick very good. Once it gets all stuck down, it will stay down. That's the only place I saw that was a little loose. Now let it completely dry, or real close to completely dry. I'm going to get some glue that's sticking out here, that seeped out. I don't like that glue seepage out of my spine. And then I gotta think about where we go from here. We won't put the paper in till the very end, but I can't remember how. You know, it being frayed is part of how I'm wanting it to look, and how she did it, I believe. And yeah. So if you start seeing anything come loose, or, you know, here's some glue right here. This glue is better if you get it off as soon as you give it a second to dry. Don't do it immediately because it will smear all over the place. But I just want to make sure. Let me get this glue off down here. How glue got way down there, I do not know. Well, maybe it's not glue. No, oh, maybe it was water. Who knows? Anyway, okay, so I don't know at what point we need to trim. These want to, and I've had this happen to me on just about anything I've ever done, where this wants to come up, and I don't know if gluing it right here underneath would help. But then it's going to want to come back up, and still it's got this. You could put a little slit right here, but I really don't want to do that. I don't like the way it looks that much. I could have got these bees a little more centered, I guess, on the inside. But I don't think there was another row that was exactly what I wanted, you know. So I am going to kind of trim this and make it a little straight. Don't go crazy, because you'll end up in your cutting your cardstock, and you don't want to do that. It's hard to keep it where it will hold still. This is still kind of wet, so I should probably wait till it's dry. I'm going to wait till it's dry. Okay, so I say we add a little bit of glue right here, but I would add it on this inside, not in the center. That way it doesn't control what this outside does, and if we need to trim it shorter, we can. Okay, but oh God, I just realized something. We really can't do that. We really can't do it and get under there very well, because I've already glued the center down. I don't think she glued that down. I'll have to watch the video to see. But now, I know if you hold it up like this and glue this end, it's still going to bulk. It's going to bulk in the center. It's going to be all lifted up. So, but I know at some point we have to trim that portion off. And for some reason, I'm thinking we should trim it off a little bit on each end. So I'm going to do that. I don't remember the purpose for that, but I remember her doing it. So we're just going to take like a tiny bit, because I want it to be really just to the inside of this. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to kind of mark it with a pen. With a pen or a pencil or something. How about a pencil? We got one right here. Now, I'm going to mark it just a little bit. It's not going to be much at all. Do a little bit right there. And I'll measure how much that is so we can do it on the other side the same amount. We want it both sides to be even, right? Let's see if I have room for this in here. I'm lining it up. It's just over 1/4 of an inch. Okay. The main thing is that you look and see how much you do. And see, just a little bit. Okay, and then I will measure that onto the other side. But let's see what this looks like right here. See, it's going to allow you to almost be to the very edge of your fabric. Now, my fabric's not perfectly straight, or it obviously would show more of this side. But I think it keeps it from being so bulky in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Here's some glue. Go along, you're doing great, and then there's glue. Okay, so this time I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to lay it in the same spot that I laid it in before. And then I'm going to make sure that this is the right amount. Yeah, it is. Trash these. Okay, now let's see what we've got. Yeah, see, that's just better. It takes the bulk out of that center section. Gonna have to add some glue right there. See how it didn't glue down? All the rest of this is fine. So, that out of my way. Let's put some glue over here. Yeah, I hope so. You know, because I was moving so slow and didn't know what I was really doing, I actually didn't have enough glue. That's usually the opposite problem I have. If you guys watch me very often, you will find out that I can't stand it when things aren't glued down. And I can't stand it when glue is oozing out and you can see it. Two of my pet peeves. Okay, so what I want to do with this book, I have two different things. I don't know if I want to do lace on it. I'm letting you guys vote right now, okay? So I'm going to take my pinking shears and I'm going to just go up this one side and cut off the white edge, okay? And I don't want to do tearing on this. It's not the point of this book, but I do want to do the pinking shears because I don't want it to look perfect. It's okay if it has a little bit of a slant or whatever. So see, I think I want to mat on each half. I want to leave like the brown in the distance and mat each half. Either with this, okay, either with my doily. This will be in my store eventually, okay. It's not going to be in the first release, but it will be. Okay, hopefully tonight we'll have the first release going out, and I'll do a video when that happens. Okay, or we can use the kit paper, which I'm going to use on the inside too, where I bind it. And this is the kit, and I'm sorry I don't have the name in front of me, but I will when we actually use this paper. I have to look at it real close to make sure I have it in the upright position. I think it's the Scholarly or something like that. I did have the name of it, and it accidentally got trashed, so I'm going to have to look it up on my computer and see. Now, we can do that. We can do this on here. Okay, look at this is choice 1. All right, and this is going to be choice 2. Now, obviously, I will have to turn it other directions. Or I may just leave it this size and just leave this trim. It doesn't matter. Or you can do it like this, bring it up and put another piece down here. Well, after this is trimmed, it's going to be smaller too once I do the pinking shears up the sides. I'm going to show you. I need you to vote and tell me what you think. Number 1 being the doily print. This doily is so pretty, by the way. I can actually show you the doily. I think it's here in my box next to me. It is very vintage. And I wanted to have it in my book because I just love it. And I thought with these, it being the same tones as Tracie's kit, might work great. Okay. When you're using pinking shears with paper, it is a real trip, let me tell you. Wants to grab on everything. I'm almost done. I'm not going to cut down the center yet because I really want to make sure all my measurements are correct. Okay. So, it's a little bit longer. So, it will be about like that, okay, over here. I'm not going to wrap it around. I'm going to have each one of them look like it's matted, kind of, you know. And I may even add some khaki under it. Let's see what that looks like. Or craft paper. Let's see if it's not much bigger. But see, that looks good with this. That's why we're talking it out. And then if we put this on there, ooh, I like that. You guys let me know what you think, but I think I like that. So it will probably have this mat, both of them. Either one of them will have the craft mat. Okay, now this is how this one would look. Trying to get everything out of my way. Now this one will have a little bit bigger mat because this paper is slightly smaller. Okay, so it would look like that. Or whatever side of the paper we're on. It could look like that. You know, I'll probably put it with some dark images so that it looks better with the bugs. But I'll do it in the upright position. I don't know if all these are in the upright position. Okay, so doily or digital kit. So 1 and 2. Which one do you think would look the best on there? Now, as far as the other side goes, which is the inside, let me move some of this trash I just got laying everywhere. I'm going to mat down here as well. I don't know about up here because I haven't decided on that. But I am going to have my, I want the outside for sure covered, but I want to use the papers. I want to bind the papers and tea stain papers inside the book. Okay. So, and they'll be shorter, you know, they'll be the same length, width or height of the paper. Now, at the very, I'm thinking at the very beginning of, see how pretty that is? Let's turn it this way and see if it, we'll put this down here. Or we could put the paper, but we could also fold this, fold our tea stain paper and fold this paper from the kit. Let's put them inside each other because the doily is just a little bit bigger, so it's almost like a little cover. So we could put it like that and bind it in. And in that case, if I let this be the front page, kind of like a book, so when you open it, you get the surprise of the kit, I could do down here with the kit. And I'll just print extra and see what we got. And then this is going to be so cute when we're done. What do you think, guys? Let me know what you think about this idea. And, yeah. And this is how it will look. I'm not going to add any lace or anything like that on here. It's going to look real rustic or grungy, as some of them would say. So, okay. Tell me what you think. 1 for the doily, for the cover, for the outside, and 2 for the kit. I'm thinking I want the kit on the outside, but I also like the doily. So we could do the doily, and we could do this as the background. It really does blend, and it doesn't look as great as you might think. So I'm thinking we do the khaki and this on the outside, because when you get on the inside, it's just going to be a great surprise when you see the kit. And we'll do the kit right here on the fold up portions, and we do this at the beginning of the pages. Yeah, you guys let me know what you think, and we'll catch it in the next video. So this is part 1. We got a lot of parts going on. This is going to be part 1 of this book. And well, actually, I'm not doing a series on this book. I just want your vote. That's the reason I came on and did this today. I want your vote because I want you to be surprised, but I'm giving you an idea of what it's going to look like. It's going to have, the whole outside will be matted. For sure going to mat any of them. It's for sure going to have the khaki or craft paper. It's for sure going to have that. But the question is it going to have this? Or is it going to have the kit on the outside? Of course, it'll be in the upright position. Just let me know what you think. I'd appreciate knowing what you think. I mean, it could be a third option, and we could do, we could do this. But see, it's too small for the craft. Or we could do this. And then this. But because that gives it the look of being the right size. I may do this. This may be number 2. Okay, this will be number 2. Craft, doily, digital. This is number 2 instead of the digital by itself, because it makes this look like it fits better. Do you agree? I think it does. So this will be number 2 for the outside. That will be all 4 sections. And this will be number 1 for the outside. Okay? This will be number 1 for the outside. Number 2 would be adding the craft on top. So this is what I want you to tell me. Doily cover or kit cover. Okay? Doily cover or kit cover. Please give me an answer to that today if you can, so I can continue. I'll get this all covered because that'll be boring. And I'll get these covered. And then at that point, I may come back so we can bind the book. And then also, I got to figure out how I want to keep this from being bulky right here. I'm thinking I've got to glue that inside. It's got to be glued down, or it's not going to look right. So I think now that I cut that off, it's not near as bulky. It's much better. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video with the bug spine. And this is my design team project for Love Junk Journals, Tracie Fox. You can go over to Facebook and join the Facebook page, which I think is great. You can even, if there's an opportunity to say who referred you, you can do that. You do have to be accepted into the group, so I think Tracie will ask you a couple questions, simple questions. And yeah, they do all kinds of fun things. They do challenges. You don't have to do the challenges. You can just watch and see what happens. You can also learn an awful lot. You can't sell over there, but you can't put your Etsy shop on there, but you can link to your YouTube videos, which can then be, you can link your Etsy from your YouTube channels, and then that will get people where they need to be. All right, guys. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.